Hello, 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 amigas, and welcome to Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast. So, I have this amazing man in front of me, and I'm excited because, as you know, amigas out there, I've had men in the past and they've been related to me. But now I'm excited to say this gentleman is amazing and you're going to love him. His name is Omar Iribe. And who is Omar? Omar is a professional sales and leadership coach. So he's going to give us a lot of insights, amigas. And so you need to stay tuned. And I love the fact that he is Latino. So, we amigas love amigos. I'm excited to have him here. And let's just get started. So, Omar, do you mind if I call you Omar?
Perfecto.
Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien. Awesome. Okay, Omar. So I know sort of your background, but I know amigas out there don't know who you are. Maybe there are some that do know you, but there's going to be some that don't. But here's the thing. What I feel that is always a thing for my guests is that they were someone before that now they're famous, now they're popular, but they weren't popular before. Because you go into this family that you're born into and you have no idea when you grow up what you're going to be. So tell us, please, please, please tell us, where are you from? What's your background? Are you a native Angelino? Please tell us.
Absolutely, Jackie. Well, thank you for having me. It's an absolute honor. It's always good to hear friends of friends. So I'm happy to meet a new friend.
Oh, awesome. The honor's all mine.
Well, I was born in Mexico.
Okay.
I was born in Sinaloa, for those who know the states of Sinaloa. And it's a very interesting situation when I think about it, because when I was born, my mom, a very young Latina, in her early 20s, she was about 20 years old when she had me. My dad, my biological dad, was working in the States here in Los Angeles. And unfortunately, he passed away. I was only about 3 weeks old when he had passed away here in Los Angeles. And my mom, back in the day in 1981, she got the news, and here is a young woman who is not knowing what to do at that age. And, he never got to see me. And that's really kind of like where the story starts.
Yeah.
My mom, as a young woman, she's like, how do I feed my hijo? How do I take care of him? How do I provide for him now? And she made a tough decision to come to the States when I was about 2.5 years old. And she came out to the States, not having an education. She worked at cleaning homes, cleaning houses, and helping other families. And it was really hard for her to be able to be away from me. And I only hear the stories, right, from all the little things she would bring during Christmas or on my birthday. And, I already had that love for her. And fast forward a little bit, and when I was 6.5, she was like, you know what, I'm going to send for my son. She remarried her other boyfriend that she had from 7 years before that, which was interesting. And yeah, they reunited, and life happened, right? And when I was 6.5, I had no idea what was happening. My grandparents were bringing me to Tijuana, and how that story goes. And
right.
I had another family coming over, and I was just like, what is happening here? Like, I'm just going into another world. I had never seen really my mom, right?
Yeah, because she was here.
She was here. And so it was like,
and you were in Mexico.
Correcto.
Oh yeah. And so it's kind of like you're being reintroduced to the person that gave you birth. Wow.
Correct. And it was a very interesting moment where, a new dad I have never met before. And so it was a struggle, just to say the least, of just adapting. I lived in Monterey Park. So it was a very different community where I thought about America and through TV. And the thing is, when I got here, my mom just, you can feel the love, right? And it was just, I was connected, but she always said to me, like, you're in a new country, you have all these opportunities you can have in this world. And my main goal is to provide an education. Your dad and I, when we got married, we got together, we just said that we wanted to provide the best for you. And that was just really the thing that I was being fed throughout. And anything is possible. You have to just believe, concentrate on that, do well in school, ask questions. And that was just the idea. I'm very grateful for my mom, and my number one heroes are women. That's like my number one hero, my mom, my grandma.
We love to
I
hear that.
support.
We love to hear that.
I
Yes.
support that because I see how much how that unconditional love is present with your children. Not that husbands or men aren't, but there's a different, I feel there's a different connection when it comes to moms and their kids and all that as well. So, and the heart, and I growing up, and my stepdad or my dad, he was fine, super helpful. There's definitely some challenges and struggles there as well throughout the journey. But I always knew that I had to go to school. I go to school. I wanted to get an education. That's what I did. I worked really, really hard through my undergrad years. There was a moment where there was like a pivotal point, and I don't know if the audience can relate. It was into high school, and I knew that I wanted to go to a university or get accepted, I needed to take these honor courses or AP classes. And I remember there was a moment where I applied for all these honor courses, and the director of the AP program, like, you're not able to take honors or AP classes, or especially a student. And I remember like that wasn't acceptable. I'm like, I want to be in these courses, and I would like sit down in those classes. I'm gonna be in here, and I'm gonna make whatever happens to get in courses. And there's a struggle where you have to take these exams, you have to take these extra exams, and let's see if you qualify. Okay, we'll give you a temporary time to see if you're capable of it. Long story short, obviously I did really well in high school, got to UCLA, so that's where I did my undergrad. And it just taught me a lot about stepping into my power, being able to say, hey, like, I have a goal, and these are my biggest barriers. I'm from other countries, speak a different language, but I knew that I had to. And always remember, like, you have to have a good idea.
One moment, Omar. I don't know if I don't think it's mine, but maybe your Wi-Fi connection might be shoddy. Do you think?
See, but maybe. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you, but then sometimes you go in, and now I can. Because you were going in and out, and I'm like, oh, but that's okay. We're recording. Like I told you, I have an editing team. I have an editing team.
Great part about it.
So that's why I was like, okay, let me stop him here so that he can like readjust.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know. And I don't know if the background, I just thought it would be helpful just to see where I'm coming from. So
yeah. Well, you're sounding great right now. So you sound better. Okay. And okay, so we stopped at high school was tough. You got to UCLA and you stepped into your power.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think being at UCLA and being in a community of highly involved individuals, smart people. I was pre-med at the time, and I was
like, wait. Hold up. You were pre-med?
Pre-med, yes.
Oh my God. God bless your soul.
Biology and my chem classes, life science, and I really enjoyed those classes. I interviewed doctors, I did the whole internship, and I realized that it wasn't for me, for my own personal reasons. But I still wanted to help a lot of people, and I wanted to get involved in supporting others. And it's a really interesting little part where when I was a freshman at UCLA, I remember learning English when I was in elementary school. I was 6.5, 7 years old, first grade. And I would watch Channel 2. And I don't know if you remember Channel 2, early in the morning, there's a game show that would show up early in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember what that was, but
The Price is Right.
Right, yeah. And I remember when I was a little kid, I would tell my mom, like, oh, mom, yo quiero estar en ese programa y ganarme un carro.
Yo también. They used to be so happy. I used to be like, I want to go.
And that was just a thought. And I kind of put that into existence. And my freshman year, they say, hey, we need 20 individuals to go to this taping, this recording, and there's like one extra seat available. And I was at the dorms in Sunset. And I was like, I'll go. I want to be there. I'll go. So they put me on the list. And at the time, I would travel back and forth from Fontana, where I grew up, for high school and middle school and elementary, and then where I was at UCLA in Westwood. And so I barely made it on time to go on the TV to CBS at the time. And they said, okay, this is what you do. They're going to interview you. Just be yourself, be your dynamic, whoever you are. And they'll ask you some random questions, right? From like what you're studying, what you like to do. Have you ever been surfing? Just random questions. And when I went into the show, right when we sat down, they called the first 4 people up. So I was one of the first 4 to go up on stage.
Oh, that is so cool.
I was like, hi, Mom. I was so happy. I was like, I'm here. I made it.
You manifested that.
It was, yeah, exactly. That's the idea. That's the point that I'm talking about. And so long story short, that I went through the whole 6 games, so I would not win the amount. So Bob Barker, during the little breaks, he was like, oh, you're pretty bad at this. You're not hitting anywhere close. So it was the last little opportunity to go up, and it was a navigation system back in 2001. So it's been a long time. So I actually got the navigation system, went up, and that was the game was one away, and it was a opportunity to win a car. So got all the numbers right the first time when I played one away, and I won the car. It was a 2001 Cougar. So I got them all right the first place. And I tell that story not only because I got a chance to win a car, but a year later, Jackie, because I was working full time, I was going to school, taking all these courses. Late at night, I was going back to my parents, and I fell asleep on the wheel. I was going home
to Fontana?
To Fontana from UCLA on the 60 freeway going on the 15.
Oh my God.
As I was driving, when you snooze for a little bit.
Yeah.
Instead of turning, I go straight out the freeway.
Oh my God.
80 feet in the air.
Oh.
And I saw my life flash between my eyes. It's kind of hard to explain, but when you hear that video, that tunnel vision of everything.
Yeah.
And then I saw my mom over my casket. And there was this energy. And I said, it was very peaceful at the same time, where I felt like I was transitioning somehow, like this energy. And in my head, it was like this, this energy of God saying like, hey, you're ready to come out, like, come with me. And I was like, God, please don't let me die. And that second, it was just this, I don't know how it happened. I hit the ground. Part of the motor to my car. I have scars, on my head, my arms. I somehow hit the seatbelt, which I had to open the sunroof a little bit because I needed some fresh air to go to sleep. As the car spins out, I fly out the sunroof. I had my Bible in my trunk in like a suitcase.
You had your what in the suitcase? What did
Bible. My Bible.
Oh, your Bible.
And as the car literally totals out, I land on top of
oh my God. Oh my. You had the climax there, and the Wi-Fi went shoddy. Oh.
Okay, can you hear me a little bit better?
Okay.
I can
okay.
hear you. Let's see. Cool.
Because I'm looking at my Wi-Fi and mine. Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, let's see. It says it's full, but the last part I was saying.
So let me
spinning out the car.
Okay, so the Bible was in your trunk, in your suitcase. Did you say?
The suitcase. Yeah, I grew up in it, so I had my Bible in my suitcase. The little maletín down.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Can you hear me well? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I have my maletín in my trunk and however I flew off the sunroof on top of that Bible. it opened up and I landed on top of it. And, I energy to protect. I definitely had, blood all over my face, things that I had heard. The car was completely totaled. As the ambulance came out, I was, kind of crawling out the freeway. They're like, other people had stopped by a car out of the freeway. They thought, I was dead. They took me to the hospital, and I was still fine, and bruises here and there. Meeting to attend early in the morning. I slept a few hours, obviously, got some rest, and then I went to my meetings, went handle, even though I had just flown out the freeway, bandages all over my head, my arm.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, okay. This sounds like a telenovela. Oh my goodness. Wow.
I share that story because it's so crazy how things, because there was what some of my friends are like, hey, you should do this summer internship. It's a management program. I had a lot of other things going on. I was, in school, like, no, I don't want to do that. But that's how I got introduced to the company I work now, Southwestern, which I've been with for about, a little bit over 20 years.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So that's that story, because, I have flew off the freeway. I don't have a car anymore. I'm either going to go work 8 hours a week, or I'm going to stay in school and do a summer job during the summers. So that was my turning point of just focus on school and do summer work during the summers. And that's how I got into the company that I'm with now.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So started off as pre-med, and now you're doing consulting. And it's all because this major experience catapulted you in a different direction.
And I'm sure those life moments where it's like, I got, that idea of like, hey, you got to live every day as it was. You have to have love in your heart. You have to take life fully, because any moment it literally be taken away from you. And that was the idea. That was the way I was living. Like, I gotta experience life fully. If I'm experience my food, if I'm, studying, I gotta experience studying. Whatever I was living it as much as I could, if that makes sense, because I knew that every day could be gone, and I had enough. I love them. Tell my loved ones I cared for them.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're in that kind of, you're gonna die. Like, death was like at your door. I can just believe. I mean, I've never gone through a situation like that, but you see it in the movies that there's like this, oh, like the spirit is coming and calling your name and taking you out, but then at the same time, you don't want to be taken out. You still want to stay on Mother Earth. And that's a huge experience. I mean, it's not common at all, because most of us have regular experiences. Some of us have gone into car accidents, but this accident was like over the top. I like to say, like, this is incredible. This is spirit just grabbing you and showing you, like, listen, how you're living your life, this is not the way it should be. This is incredible. I had no idea, Omar, that this happened for you, because things don't happen to you, they happen for you, right?
Correct.
So, okay, now, I mean, what I can't believe is that you were okay. Like, I mean, this is such a horrible accident, but yet you ended up okay. Crazy.
I still have some scars that remind me of the experience, and keeps me grounded.
I
use it as like a reminder of, like, God has a plan. God has something bigger than I can even imagine. And families, we have losses, we still have things. The plan, and sometimes I want to be in control. When I try to take control, it's a reminder, like, hey, like I have you, and keep doing what you're doing, but I have a bigger plan that you can't even imagine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree with you like so much, because I think that, there's this concept that I grew up learning, which is tú pones y Dios dispone.
Mm.
Like, and I've always lived by that way, because I can like put forward my effort, everything I want to do. Yes, I have my my everything in order. I became a lawyer and I started working and blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, but God has a different plan. And
Mm-hmm.
there's always a pivotal point, like you've mentioned earlier. There's that pivotal point where it's like, nope, that's not what I want you to be doing. I want you to go this other way. And I exactly know what you mean, because that transition happened for me back in 2017. Very, very different. No accidents. but it, there are those points. And I want to also reiterate for amigas that are listening to this podcast, that listen to the call. Pay attention, because God is sending you so many messages. Just as by way of example, just this little thing. I'm like trying to put some makeup on, and then I'm like, oh, my earring didn't have the backing. So I'm like, damn it, now I gotta go back and go get the backing of my earring. I go to the backing of my earring and I find my lipstick. And I started saying, okay, thank you, God. Thank you for sending me this message. Because I would have gone really crazy trying to locate that lipstick. But there's all these like small messages and big messages. Your message was big, it was huge, and amigas out there, just pay attention, right, Omar?
100%.
Yes. Okay, so you're doing consulting. So tell us, I mean, okay, so you've been working. So what kind of strategies do you share? What kind of skills are you sharing with your clients? Because this is the part that I'm like, ooh, I want to get to know what's going on here.
Yeah. So I've been in sales and leadership and management since for about 20 years, and just summer. Can you hear me?
You know what, Omar? Do you think then it might be best if we stop and come back? Do you think that will help out?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that, and then you can come back. It's gonna seem seamless, so no worries. Okay.
I'll just come.
Okay. So you're this amazing professional sales and leadership coach, and you've been there for 20 years. That's quite some time. And I one of the things that I saw is that you actually went and got a global certification, right? And that's through San Diego. So tell me, like, how okay, here you are at this company, and then you decide to do this degree, this master's. Why?
So when I started with the Southwestern, right, it's a big sister company. I started with them selling educational products door to door. So I would go out to the East Coast. From the company's based out of Nashville, Tennessee, and college kids to learn how to run their own business, selling and marketing products door to door. So you can imagine, after knocking over 3,000 doors during the summer, learning how to take orders, dealing with all types of individuals, all social economic backgrounds, the rejection, the challenges that go through it, rain, shine, all of that. That's how I started being a door-to-door salesman. And I thought it was the hardest thing I'd ever done. And then I enjoyed it, where I would teach others how to do the same, how to run their own small business during the summer to help pay for school, to help pay for college. So that way my parents wouldn't have to worry, or that way I wouldn't have to take out loans. And that was the way I started at UCLA doing these summer internships. And I did that for about 12 years. So I would train people in the US, in Eastern Europe. And then, and I said, you know what, I want to do something else. I want to go get my master's in like business leadership, global leadership. I want to help out the masses in all different areas. And that's when one of my leaders said, hey, why don't you love helping people? Why don't you become a coach? Why don't you actually help other people? And as I was doing my master's in global leadership, I became a coach. So I've always been coaching people, but this was more from the student level to the adult level.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, how neat. That is super cool. Okay, so then when you got your master's in global leadership, I mean, what was the next step after that? Like now you get like bigger projects, you get teams that you lead now, or what do you do?
So right after I got my master, it was literally a dream come true. I always dreamed about speaking to different companies, training in Spanish and English. So I was actually hired through one of our sister companies to train a lot of the people from Hotel Beds or Beds Online. They're a company based out of in Europe, in Spain. So I would go to, they're like, hey, we're gonna fly out to Mallorca, we're gonna fly you out to Cancun, we're gonna fly you out to Brazil, and I would be training and speaking to these groups. And that was literally a dream come true. And it was right out of my master's in global leadership. So I was doing exactly what I was learning and then applying it
Right, right.
to the day today.
Oh, wow. So now that you're applying all this to students and now, so you're taking all this experience and I know that you, well, at least my experience with you, although today we're finally meeting, is that you do business coaching and you've done that for several of friends of mine. And so I'm like, oh, I see how it all happened. And now he's doing this with my friends. So how can someone get a hold of you to be coached by you?
Correct. Well, obviously I'll give you my information. They can give me a call. And my whole idea is, how do we continue to give? How do we really bring value into our communities? How do we bring value into our people? So I always do these complimentary, customized workshops for sales leaders, individuals who have sales teams or have a team of people that they want to develop and help. So I'll do these complimentary workshops so people can have an idea of what I do, but also get some really good golden nuggets where they can use and apply it right away and get some results. Now, you and I know that we can do the best training, the best development in an hour or two, but it's not going to change someone's habits. It's not going to change someone's lives. It's not going to change someone's mindset and keep developing. So the true way we were really born into coaching is we took these 160-year principles and practices, and then we're able to apply them in the day-to-day when we coach and work with individuals. So I'll do a business action plan with someone. It's a complimentary one-on-one where I really learn about someone's vision, mission, their goals, where they're at today. What are some of those barriers? What's stopping them? What are those blind spots that they're not really understand? And then I look for those opportunities for breakthrough. And then I look for those opportunities of where we can help somebody take some action, take some steps, and then we'll put a plan together. And then the goal, if we're a good fit, then we'll put that action into plan.
Oh, that is awesome. I love that. You help them out like with their vision, their thought process, getting all those barriers out, because that's kind of like the same thing that I do, but in a different avenue, I guess, where we as Latinos have been acculturated to believe in limitations. And as mujeres, because I'm a mujer, it's even a whole different process and layers. And I love that you actually help people. Hey, look you got this barrier, but we can break through that barrier. Learning about the process of how we've grown up to be, but we don't need to do that anymore. Like you're showing them, okay, it can be done. Here's the vision, here's the plan, here are the blind spots. And it's so important to have a coach by your side in every aspect of your life. Personally, that's what I think. Amigas out there. And Omar is an amazing business coach who has helped, and I can attest, has helped many of my friends. So if you're in need of an amazing business coach, you should definitely get in contact with Omar. He's a Latino. Even better, right?
And I love to help. I mean, I help any culture, any background. You know, from Latino culture, I came out to my parents, being Jehovah's Witness, being in a very religious background and going through those challenges. I had my own limiting beliefs. I had my own challenges that I had to break different ways. Being in a culture where there's wealth, and how to help somebody who is a multimillionaire who owns their own company. There's limiting beliefs through every single day. So I'm no different than my clients, right? We're going through similar struggles. And as I'm growing, hey, and we need somebody who's a sounding board, who truly is and is able to, sometimes support you, call you. I had a client of mine where she was like, I feel like I'm a very, very positive person, and most people think I'm very positive and I have a good mindset. I'm go, go, go. And there were certain things that I listened into her language. There are certain things that she was saying about herself that I called her out on it. She's like, I didn't realize that. Like, that's really how I am. That's what I'm sounding. And she shifted that mindset. She shifted the schedule. She shifted what she was focusing on. And guess what? Her business grew. Her business is flourishing. And those are the little areas that sometimes that 1%, that quantum leap from that one little shift can make impactful changes for your finances, for your business, for your family, for all those. And that's really the goal, is helping you achieve your goals in life by putting those systems in place, putting those processes in place, shifting that mindset, that motivation, and sharpening those skills. How do we get better in where we're at?
Oh, yes. These are like music to my ears. Oh, I know. I know that Tony Robbins talks about that 2 millimeter shift. And that's the thing. It's just those little incy steps to change it. It could catapult you into this quantum leap, as you were saying, because it doesn't take you don't need like a mile length of progress. You just need incremental steps. And I love that you said that. I think that, like I always say, I'm like, we all need someone to support us, to be our sounding board. And I'm glad that you were saying about that, because it is so true. We so need that. And we don't need to make these huge, ginormous, multimillionaires. Yeah, they're multimillionaires, but sometimes they have those like limiting beliefs, and the imposter syndrome still creeps in. And that's why they need the sounding board. So I encourage all amigas to pay attention and to hire people that know about these things. If you want your business to move into a big direction, hire coaches such as like Omar to help you out in that endeavor. So Omar, as we're finishing up our interview here, I always ask my guests about, when it's a woman, I say, how does a woman handle her shit? But as a man, from a male perspective, what have you seen in women handling their shit?
Oh, I love this one, because when you find a way, not an excuse, you get shit done. You find a way, not an excuse. And you can allow yourself to believe the lies that you tell yourself, ourselves, right? You can believe that little voice. I like to call it Mr. M, Mr. Mediocrity, that little voice that says you're not good enough, you don't have time for that, you're a busy person, or do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is always going to be good, or on Monday. And that's a little voice that wants to hold you back. That's scared of success, that's scared of failure, that's scared of all those fears that what if it doesn't, what if this happens, what if my husband doesn't like, what if this happens? And that's the little voice we need to shut down. We need to say, flick it off of it. It says, hey, I'm here, and I'm here for a reason. I'm going to find a way, not this excuse, and I'm going to take that action. And when we take that action, it cures that fear, it cures that little negative voice. And then you say, hey, I did it. It was no big deal. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, it's unbelievable. I love what you're saying. Find a way, not an excuse. We find a shitload of excuses. It's incredible. It's incredible. But imagine if we found so many ways instead. Thank you so much for that, Omar. Because amigas, you heard it, male perspective here. We gotta find a way, no excuse. We gotta handle our shit, finding a way, and no excuse, amigas. Oh my God, I love this, Omar. Thank you so much for being here at Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast.
An honor. Thank you so much, Jackie. Thank you for allowing me to share a bit of my story, and anything I can do, please reach out. I'm here as a support, and thank you once again.
Thank you. I'm truly honored to have you here with me. Thank you so much.